And so thanks for joining me, guys. My name is Vincent Meza, Listings to Leads. You may not know anything about us. We've been operating for about 13 years. We started in that terrific mortgage meltdown of '08. And we're still here primarily because we can help our clients get buyer and seller leads. I think we do it in many automated ways, in fast ways, and also very cheap ways. So let's kind of get into it. There's a couple things I want to say, though, before we dive into the system. And that's that we have our own mastermind group. And Chuck, are you in the mastermind group? Have you found your way into this yet?
It looks familiar, but I'll make sure that I am.
Yeah, if you're not in it, if you search on this group, and if you search Facebook and you look for Listings Leads Mastermind Group, you won't see. You want to make sure you got this one with this big blue banner, because it's private, and if you're not in it, you can't see it. And if you're not in it, just go down to your support page in your account. And Chuck, if you go down there and you say, hey, please add me, and they add you, you can then invite the other agents and we'll approve them. Or just every agent can go to their own support page at the bottom left and say, please add me to that group. And there's a couple of reasons why you want to be in this group. One, you're going to find that we are pushing new technology all the time. Like every week, we've got new stuff that we're launching. So it's very, basically our goal is to create more tools for you to capture leads and more tools for you to convert leads, whether you want buyers or whether you want sellers, and whether you have listings or not. So this is our mastermind group. You're going to see a lot of the new work we're doing with video. You're going to get information from our clients. This is actually, I did a call yesterday with one of our partners, Leads to ROI. There's a good discussion here about how to use Facebook to get listing leads. And these guys actually taught me something that I hadn't thought of. And it's funny because we have a print strategy that I'm going to talk about, but if you want listings, you're going to want to see that. And then also the reason why I want you to get in here is that I do 2 live training calls every week. We talk about how to get more listings, how to set up and use your account on the basics, and also Facebook advertising. And then we're adding a new one, how to hit 250,000 in annual income, which basically talks about how many leads you need to generate and how to do that on a monthly basis. And we have the tools to help people do that. You'll also see stuff coming in from our clients. This guy here just likes to ask us questions all the time, as if this is what we do.
Full-time job.
Yeah, just I like 5 questions a day out of this guy. But then you're going to see our clients like Ann say, you know what, this system is just not only capturing leads, but converting them into listings. That's what we want to see. And that's what we want for you guys too. So the tools that they're talking about, Pat Motley's talking about our #1 tool for getting listings, and just describes what's been going on and how she's getting listings just over and over from the same tools. And then you'll see other people talking about what's going on with Facebook and stuff like that. So there's a lot of feedback here. I think one thing about Listings to Leads is we do a lot. Like, we are integrated with more than a dozen CRMs. We're integrated with 5 of the top social media platforms. We have tools that integrate with, print, with printers, with your print marketing strategies. And so in order to use all those, that can get really overwhelming really quickly, right? And so there's really 2 areas that I want you to focus on, and to focus on for like the next couple months. And that is the listings area, and that's also the ads area. Okay, these are the 2 areas that you need to kind of be on. And I'm going to dive into this, but before we get into this section, we're going to go look at how to set up your account. Okay, so each of you should have an ID and password that we sent to you. And that means that you can come in and go down to your profile. And this is where I really want to talk about kind of the setup, right? So the way we're going to do this call is 5 or 10 minutes. I'm going to talk to you about what you need to do to set things up. And then I'm going to talk about what we do on the listing side, and then what we do on the ad side. And then I might throw in a couple more ideas of how to get more listings. Okay, so this is my profile. You each have a profile that looks like this. Are you guys using all the same CRM, or are you using multiple different kinds of CRMs?
Generally, I mean, some agents use their own, but most of our agents use Follow Up Boss.
Great, great. So over here on the profile page is CRM integration, and you will see that there's Follow Up Boss right here. Just put in the email address that Follow Up Boss has given you and save it, and every lead that you capture in our system will go automatically in there, and your drip campaigns will kick in automatically. There's also another section in this profile called auto posting, and this is probably one of the most effective ways of marketing your listings to social media. Click through these buttons, connect to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Even if you don't even use these platforms, get dusting off your old password and ID and connecting is smart, because on the second step after you've connected here, you will click on listings, and all you got to do is copy this, click this green button, and it will pop this text into this box. So just click this green button and then click save. This is dynamic text. I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. But these free automated posts to your social media actually have lead capture behind it. So if you just want free leads and you want to get your stuff on social media and you don't want to touch it, go to auto posting, connect your social media accounts, go over here, click that green button, and then save. And that's really good for you to do. Now, also here, if you've got Zillow reviews, you can click this button here under preferences, and we'll put Zillow reviews there for you. So let's go over to listings and talk about some of the tools. So when we click on listings, you may or may not have listings, right? If you're new, you've got a new account, if you sold anything in the past 60 days, and it will not flow in here automatically. I recommend that you click this green button here. Again, if you sold anything in the past few days, and manually create a listing that's even sold. Because I'm going to show you that sold ads and sold tools in our system have great ways of capturing more listings. Our early stage stuff, and you can see we're not like an MLS. We're not asking for a bunch of information. There's like a handful of required data points, and then add a couple photos, and we're going to create a bunch of tools. And that listing is going to sit here, and then you're going to want to use the tools that I'm showing you. Now, I'm going to actually go look at a open house. And a lot of these tools, when your listing hits the system, are emailed to you automatically, but I think it's a lot easier just to work right from here. So when you click on market listing, the first thing we drop you on is Facebook. Now, if you're not connected, you do need to connect your Facebook business page. And so that will be the first thing it'll say, connect to Facebook. You might see that this ad is sponsored by Listings to Leads, but your ad is going to be sponsored by your business page. And when you click create an ad, you're going to see it's a 7-day ad. It's $35 by default. You can change those to more or less. And then when you click create an ad, it's going to go out to your target market. Mine is 15-mile radius of Berkeley. And you will then, it'll charge your credit card on your Facebook account. And that's kind of how it works. Okay. Now, this ad, in case you're not too familiar with Facebook, that ad shows up on the news feed. Okay, that's what we're doing. And I'm going to take you to Facebook real quickly here, and you'll see that usually the second post that is on every news feed, in this case it's the third post, is a sponsored ad. So this is a sponsored ad by the Penny Horn. But when you're creating an ad in our system, it's going to be sponsored by your business page, and it's going to say open house or just sold or whatever it's going to say. We pre-write the content for you. We put this picture together, and when it hits there, if people respond, they click on it, their name, email, and phone number are pre-populated by their Facebook profile. So for them to get the information that they want, they've got to give you the contact information that you want. And your lead will go automatically into Follow Up Boss. And I would recommend that you work on those leads to close them, right? Now, so that's an ad. That's a paid for ad. But then the next item on this list is a social media post. So, you know, if you're using social media at all, and you can click here because it's going to say it's auto posted. This is going to take you to, let's just wait here. It's going to take you to your business page and show you the post that we created automatically. Now, again, this says listings to leads, but your auto post is going to go to your Facebook account. It's going to have hashtags. It's going to have emojis. Now, we use these hashtags on Twitter and LinkedIn as well. And Twitter and LinkedIn index hashtags, which means people follow real estate. They follow house hunting and new homes and for sale. And even if you got 3 friends on Twitter, many people are going to see this in your community, right? And when they see it, if they click on it, which the automated text suggests that, we're going to drive them to a page that can capture leads. And here, this is an open house. So you can see it's got like this, you know, time sensitive ticking time bomb thing going on. But if I want the details, I got to click continue with Facebook. And when I click continue with Facebook, we grab their name and email and deliver it to you, along with the address so you know what property they're looking at. And we drop them on the single property website that we also created automatically for you. Okay. So as a reminder, all this is automatic. You need to turn on your social media auto posting on your profile. We will then start auto posting. It'll get out to your business page, and there will be lead capture, capturing leads behind it for you for free. Okay. That's a free part of the service. Definitely recommend everybody turn that on. The next tool I want to show you is a couple tools down. It's called a nearby homeowner letter. This is the #1 tool that if you want listing leads that turn into listing contracts. Okay. Now, there are 3 versions. They just look differently, but they are doing essentially the same thing. Let's look at one of them here. In this case, I've got an open house. You can use this when it's just listed, or open house, or just sold, or you can use them multiple times. Because this is a most effective tool for our clients to get listings, a lot of our clients use it more than once per listing, like just listed and just sold, or open house and just sold. And it's, you can customize any of this text, but basically it says, we got an open house from 1 to 4, go here to find out about it. And that's going to affect your home value. So go here to find out your free home value. So what's going on here is you're mailing this to somebody's home, and they take a piece of paper, go to their own computer, type in this web address, and when they type in their address, they have to give you their email address if they want that free home value. And that's a really good lead. That's a high quality lead. And so I definitely recommend that. Now, I was talking about our mastermind group, and since we're talking about that nearby homeowner letter, and that is the #1 tool, I do got to tell you, I just did a call. I was just talking with somebody yesterday, Leads to ROI, which they have a kind of a CRM and follow-up system. And so we did a call together yesterday, and they actually taught me something. So if you're interested in getting more listings, there's a really interesting way of tackling Facebook ads, and it's covered in this call here by Willie Grader. You'll see me with Leads to ROI. So this is the print strategy, but it's almost like using the same file. So let me show you something here. That letter, in its simplest format, our clients would take it and they would door knock, right? Like literally print up 100, 200 and go door knocking for a few hours. Like that's how it started to become effective for our clients. But then other clients, like this guy, Chris, kind of notched it up a bit. He makes his own videos. He puts them out on Facebook. So he's talking about the market. But he came in the mastermind group and says, hey, I got 5 listings in 3 months. By mailing your letter there, that nearby homeowner letter, every 2 weeks to everybody that has owned a home for more than 5 years, right? So he bought that list from Remind. There's actually a handful of companies that you can get that kind of list, right? So he moved to San Antonio, so he actually bought a list of people that live in his own neighborhood. He just bought a house there. He wants to be the big realtor in that neighborhood. So he's creating these videos. He buys a list and he tells us, I send out a letter every 2 weeks to people who own their home for 5 years or more. And once they opt in on the home value page, once they type that they take this piece of paper and type in that address and they give him his address and email, he hits them up every week with phone calls, bomb, letters left at the door, and letters that he mails every week, right? He just stays on these people, and that's how he pulled 5 listings in 3 months, right? This guy just moved. When he announced this, he had just moved to San Antonio. He had no name recognition. 2 years later, he's doing so well that he's a top listing agent, setting up his own office and doing his own tutorials and telling people, this is how I use listings to leads to make money. So he's training people on our platform to become productive agents. I really recommend you watch that video. He basically talks about how he customizes our letter to get more people to respond to it. As you can see, we have an e-flyer for your database. You can copy this right here. It's an electronic version of the print letter I just showed you. You can blast it out. If you've got a lot of leads and follow-up, boss, we definitely recommend that you're blasting this out like once every week or two. If you've got a few thousand leads, every week. If you've got a few hundred leads, maybe every other week. And you can do it at any status, any listing. You can even borrow listings and do that as well. I showed you before, but we do create virtual tours and single property websites. We have a whole open house marketing toolkit, help you capture leads before, during, and after. We have postcards and door hangers. You can get them right there in the little gold box that says Prospects Plus. They're an integrated printer, so you can use these. The design is here. You can download it and send it off to the printer. And when you do, you'll notice that the front's going to say, hey, we got an open house, or just listed, or just sold. But the back is going to say that affected your home value. So get a free home value here, right? And so if you're doing print, and I just got to slow down and say this, like, we've been doing this for 13 years, which means I've been talking to realtors for 13 years. If I ask them their return on their print campaigns, all I get is like goose eggs, right? Nobody has any idea of what's going on. They're just printing because they know they got to print, because print was happening before the internet, and they, print, I got to print. Coaches, right? Yeah. But there is not much return. You just think you're branding, and that's probably true. People are recognizing the brand, your brand. But here, when you start mailing with our tools, you're literally going to get leads, either buyer leads or seller leads, because we put it really clear, like, go here for more information. So I definitely, if you're thinking of spending money in print, go look at what we've got for you.
Hey, Vince.
Yeah.
Is the branding on that customizable, or is it like that?
Yeah, it's going to be, well, your logo is going to be there.
Okay.
I think your colors flow through from your profile. We don't have the colors dynamically changing here, but if your color scheme, when you're on your profile, you'll notice that we have set up your logo and the colors that kind of meet, your stuff. It's under appearance. So when we set up your account, they should flow in there. This is just kind of the ones that, but you'll see your colors there. And then, and then we've got QR codes. And actually, somebody was just in the mastermind group talking about our QR codes and saying, I don't know, they're getting a lot of leads from that people are really responding to that. So you might want to check that out. That was just posted yesterday. But that's the listing marketing side, okay? I do want to remind you that these listings usually come in here automatically when they're just listed. But you definitely want to take advantage of our open house marketing and our just sold marketing. Open house is going to be a great way of getting more buyers. Just sold is a way to get more listings. Now, one tool I forgot to mention, it's under market listings. It's something that I definitely recommend that you all take advantage of, right? And that is the seller social media post. And a lot of people, we email this to you automatically. And it's one that agents are not too familiar with it and often ignore it. But this generates essentially referrals. We email this to you. There's instructions on forward this to your client, call them for 5 seconds and ask them to put it on their Facebook wall. So let me show you what that looks like. I'm going to go over to my Facebook page. So again, we're sending a tool to you. You're meant to open the email, forward it to your client, and then call them and just say, hey, I just sent you something, would you put it on your wall? So here's an open house. And it says, we're having an open house. Now, this may be confusing because this is my name, Vincent Meza, is posting Vincent Meza as a realtor. But it basically says, hey, you at your office are their realtor, but they're saying it in front of all their friends and family and colleagues on Facebook, right? Where everybody shares their vacation pictures and their grandkid pics and the food they eat. They're now sharing that you're their realtor. And if you sell their home, this is what it looks like. It's pre-written. Our home is sold and we want to recommend you at your office. Here's your phone number and email for all my friends and family on Facebook to see. Now, if they click on this, you can bet we're going to drive them to a page that's going to capture a lead, right? This is a single property website for a property that's already sold. And when the call to action pops up here, it's, hey, get your free home value, right? So again, this is a free tool. We email it to you. Take advantage of it. It gets really good leads. Doesn't get a lot of leads, but these are leads from the friends and families and colleagues of your clients. So those are pretty good leads. Now let's jump over to the ad section. And I will tell you that when you come to the ad section the first time, it will not look like this page. There will be one big button that'll say connect to Facebook. And when you click that, it's going to open up a page on Facebook with your name on it. It's going to say, hey, continue as you, Chuck, and you say yes. And when you click it, it then takes you to the next page that says, what business pages do you want, right? And so it'll be like, Chuck the Realtor, whatever your business page is called, it's going to connect. And then it says, okay, and done, and boom, it brings you back here. And you're going to have these 3 green buttons, okay? Create listing ads, create landing page ads, and create PDF guide ads. Now, it also is going to have something else, and this is going to sound a little bit techy, but I want you to try to follow along. Where this green box here is about last sync, there's going to be another box, a yellow one, that says accept custom audience terms. So you can click on a link and it's going to take you to Facebook. You click this one big accept button, then come back here and refresh, and then hit retargeting. And this is really important. Retargeting is a part of Facebook that I would tell you maybe 1 or 2% of realtors even know it exists. And far fewer than that actually can use it. And if you ever try to set up retargeting on Facebook, you would know why. It's really a bear. In our system, it takes 2 buttons, 2 clicks to set up Facebook custom audiences and retargeting. Okay, so it's much easier. But here's where it can become really valuable. And again, I kind of mentioned in the mastermind group that this guy, not this guy, Chris, but Willie Grader mentioned from Leads to ROI. So Chris is taking that Remind list, the guy I just showed you, and he's doing a mailing. He's taking that #1 tool and he's mailing to a list of people that have owned their homes for more than 5 years or more. What Willie and what the guys at Leads to ROI are doing is they're getting the exact same list. You can hear about it in this call here. And they're creating the list and creating a custom audience. And that custom audience lives inside of your personal Facebook account. So again, they're buying a list from Remind of like thousands of names of people and email addresses of people who've owned their homes for more than 5 years. And then they continue to run ads in front of them, like get your home value, right? So you can go over here and you could create a list for Pleasant Hill if Pleasant Hill was in your area, and then run an ad that says, hey, Pleasant Hill homes have converted. Now, or home values have changed. The thing about this is, and it's kind of eye-opening. Usually I would tell you this kind of Facebook ad, if you do it without Remind and you just try to target, this is how you typically do it. Like, this is Pleasant Hill, California. So I'm gonna type in Pleasant Hill and I got a 15-mile radius. Okay, that's what Facebook allows you to do. Now, you probably don't know where Pleasant Hill is, so let me show you. And I don't know exactly what your markets are like, geographically speaking, but I do want you to see, just so you understand what Facebook is doing. I live in Contra Costa County in the East Bay of San Francisco. So on the eastern side of San Francisco Bay, I live in Contra Costa County. And I'd say it's like 1.2 million people spread out in this little area that you're looking at on this map. But if you're running an ad on Pleasant Hill, you can only target a 15-mile radius. This is true for any ad in real estate that you run. So that means, well, I'm trying to target the 30,000 people that live in this little town. I'm going to overspray and hit all these people all over the place. And that's what makes that kind of ad kind of non-effective. But what the guys over at Leadstar ROI are saying is, oh, no, take that Remind list and upload it, cut it down in chunks and upload it with your create audience and create a Pleasant Hill audience, so that you've just got the people who have owned homes in Pleasant Hill for 5 years or more. And then when you say, hey, I want to go run an ad on whatever, I'm going to go to the PDF guide ad and I'm going to run an ad for homeowners, and I'm going to talk about any of these 25 plus deals here, right? Here, divorce in real estate, right? You never know, there might be somebody thinking about that, right? So if I say Pleasant Hill, well, this one actually isn't such a requirement because the report isn't talking about Pleasant Hill. It's just saying, divorce in general in real estate. So in actuality, you don't actually need to target. But if you needed to retarget because you're doing like a Pleasant Hill focused ad, you could click retarget Pleasant Hill. And I haven't created it because I was just learning about this yesterday, but I do have our listings to leads deal here. So all of my leads from listings to leads, I can retarget with ads. This is an important thing if you want to convert leads, okay? Like, I've got lots of ways for you to capture leads, but actually you don't earn money until you convert them. And so that's where Follow Up Boss is going to help. That's where you texting every once in a while is going to help. And that's where running ads in front of them over and over on Facebook is going to help. And when you turn on the custom audience, you are going to have an audience just like I have that says L2L buyer and seller audience. And so you'll be able to run ads in front of those people, okay? So back to the ad section, at the highest level, I want to tell you what I tell all agents. If you're going to have a future in real estate, you should be running a minimum of 2 ads per week and spending around $200 to $300 a month, okay? So that's 8 ads a month. So what are you going to get for that? Well, I'll just go over here and create a landing page ad real quick, and let's kind of look at what's going to happen here. I'm going to do a landing page of new construction. We create a new construction landing page for you automatically. It should be sitting in your account. All you got to do is type in the name of the town, right? But you'll notice that my ad is sponsored by Listings to Leads. That's because I'm connected to the Listing to Leads. Yours is going to be sponsored by your business page. So if you're running an ad and you're spending, if you're spending $300 a month on Facebook ads and you're running 8 ads a month and you're paying $300 over those 8 ads, your business page will be seen about 25,000 times every month, right? By multiple people, 25,000 times. You will capture about 150 to 250 leads in that month, maybe more. A lot of our clients are generating 300, 400 leads a month. They're probably not spending that much money, right? When you start consistently running ads, your cost per leads go down. But when you think about your business as a realtor, you have to kind of wonder, how do people even know you're a realtor, right? I think for most realtors, people find out you're a realtor when you're like sitting in a restaurant at a bar and you're just chatting people up, right? Or maybe your friends and family and your old clients know that you're a realtor and they're able to tell. But where do you stand out on the internet as you are a professional in real estate? It's not when somebody types in Smyrna real estate, because now you're fighting against all the big portals, right? There's Zillow, there's homes.com, there's all kinds of stuff. You as realtors, you might show up on page 2, right? But when you're using this and you're using Facebook, you may not know this, but American adults spend about 40 minutes every day, on average, scrolling through this for 40 minutes every day. And that's where your ads, you see how there's a sponsored ad by some local gym? Why would they do that? That's because people are just scrolling through here, looking at pictures of their friends and family. And then about every 4th and 5th post, here's some show, go buy tickets. That's why this is so powerful. For a few $100 a month, your business page is going to be seen tens of thousands of times, and you're going to capture a lot of leads, right? Now, I'm going to kind of show you right now how to get listings with this, okay, with Facebook. The cheapest way is to create listing ads. You want them to be sold or under contract, right? And when you click sold, I'm going to do a sold property here and show you how to do it. On average, listing leads from Facebook for sold ads cost about $5.60. Okay. Now we default you to a $50 ad for 7 days. So you could probably expect around 9 or 10 leads, right? You could just publish it just like that and not worry about it. That could work for you. But I would tell you that I recommend that you click advanced options, go down to the primary text. And if you sold this home quickly, put it in the note, as people see it, right? I've talked to realtors who often think, they sold one of their homes and they have nothing to do. They're just dead in the water. If you tell people that I sold a home in contract in 24 hours, or I sold, $20K above asking, people are going to look at that. They're going to slow down and say, whoa, what's going on? And I get my home value from this guy. These data points we cannot automatically pull out of thin air. You are the realtor, right? You may know something. So click on the advanced options, put in your primary text in the left. It's going to show up on the ad on the right, and it's going to be visible for anybody who's looking at Facebook. Okay. These leads are mobile optimized. So whether people are on their smartphones, which there are, they're driving their cars looking at Facebook, just scrolling through and seeing your ads. These lead capture work all the time. So the next way to get listing leads, and remember, I told you sold ads and under contract ads, those are the cheapest way to get leads. We actually had somebody come in the mastermind group and just say they're getting lists when they marketed their home says under contract, they were even cheaper. They were like $2.50 a lead for homeowners. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Now I showed you this before, but you can click on seller PDF guide ads. There are more than 25 PDF reports. You are on every page of this. You choose the ones that you want to do. Click create an ad. All you got to do is type in the name of the town. If you want to expand the radius, go right ahead and publish. That's it. For them to download that report, they've got to give you their name and email and phone number pre-populated by their profile. Okay. But these leads cost on average $10 to $12 a lead, right? Like Facebook feels like these are more valuable to you, so they're charging you more. And then I showed you earlier that you can create landing page ads. And what's the problem here? Sorry guys, what happened here? Give me 1 second. Of course, I'm in a presentation, so everything is bogging down. So on the landing pages, this is where you can have landing pages for all of your core towns, right? I've got one for Pleasant Hill. I'm going to create an ad, and you just need to type in Pleasant Hill, right? And I would definitely recommend that you try to get that list of Remind and you have your own custom audience. But if not, just type in the name of the town. And I definitely recommend this if you're doing a mailing to your neighborhood. If you're going to take one of our tools, or even not use one of our tools, and you're going to do a mailing to a neighborhood, and you know it's going to drop on Monday, I would start running an ad on Saturday so that people can see it over the weekend. And if they see your letter come in the mail, they're going to respond to it more likely if they're just getting that brand reinforcement. So there's one other section I want to kind of point out, and it's social over here. Now, this is free social content for your social media page. And there are a lot of you that, you know, we're busy. We don't have time to just sort of putting information out on social media. But if you come here, we're going to say connect your social media accounts. We're going to ask you, when do you want us to publish? You choose the dates. You can do every day. I have 1 day a week. And then you can choose the kinds of things that you want us to do. You can see exterior design, patios and decks. If you want to click the eyeball, you'll see all the posts. But basically, this is free content, all colorful, all nicely written, to give your social media account some personality, some content that's related to real estate. I do want to point out, not a lot of lead capture here, but just definitely some good content to keep your stuff looking fresh. Mm-hmm. Now, we do a few more things than that, guys. But honestly, what I've shown you, if you can get your arms around this in your own business, your business will grow. In this market right now, these tools that I'm showing you are working right now. And if you go look inside this mastermind group, you're going to hear our clients talking about it. So that's kind of my story for today. Do you have any questions? Now, I'm going to point this out. I'm asking if you have any questions. Feel free to ask anything you want. We do have a focus this year on getting more video content. And so we actually are giving you inside the system scripts that you can just hold your smartphone up, do video content. You can use that in Facebook Reels. You can use that on TikTok. You can use it on short videos on YouTube. Your smartphones can do all this stuff like automatically. The trick is, do you have the content? And this, what you're looking at, is sort of like created out of our system. We're giving you the ability to create really slick video content. So I would look into that. Video is, in a way, you know, you kind of want to say it's the future. You know, Reels from Instagram and TikTok in their videos are just kind of really dominating people's eyeballs. I think right now, to me, it still feels like that's a younger market and not necessarily a real estate market, but it's a growing thing. It is definitely a growing trend. And we tend to stay, our goal is, I think philosophically, we don't feel like realtors can compete in the SEO game. I know for years, you as realtors were sold the idea that you need to have a website and you need to be on SEO, and there's Google, and that's kind of true, but it's kind of not, because you can't actually, it's just such a hard nut to crack to stay on top of Google, right? But in social media and with the tools with our CRM and print, you can definitely dominate your markets. So that's the kind of thing we do. And that's where we see with TikTok coming up and Reels and video. So we want to stay in front of that. If the market is moving, you know, we've been here, we didn't collapse because we stay in front of the market, and we can see that video is important. And if you can see that video is important and you want some ways to use it, look at our stuff. I do want to remind you that we do 2 live training classes every week, and you will see them. It'll always say recorded webinar, and you can find out what's going on. So if you can join us live and ask questions, or you can come and jump on and see what's going on when it fits your schedule, okay? I will say that if you want to join our webinars, you can go to leadgenwebinars.com, and here you can sign up for all of our classes, right? I honestly, I think if you jumped on all 4 of those classes as well as this one, that would be it. That would be about all you would know what the heck was going on and how to apply this to your business. Okay. I would then from then on, I tell you, hey, I just sent you this, so you might see a little blinking light somewhere. I would honestly recommend that you join us for these, and that you kind of jump on once a month. We probably every month add 10, like 5 to 10 new technologies, straight up like brand new tools. And then we add improvements to other things, like almost 10 to 20 things get pushed every month. We just are making sure that our clients have as many tools as possible to get more reach, more branding, and more leads. So I really recommend that you get on our live training calls once a month, but you should go right here to the link I just sent you and get on these calls in the next few weeks so that you can learn how to apply our system. I don't see any more questions, so I'm going to give you one more thing out of the mastermind group. So I keep telling you about, that nearby homeowner letter, #1 tool. This guy here, Dustin, came in here and he's like, he came in, now this is a few years back. He said, hey, that is the highest ROI in our business. We take that letter and it doesn't matter. They do it just sold and just listed. They put it in an envelope with their 1-page calendar of him and his wife. And they even made a little 1-page Zillow review so you can hear like how awesome they are, right? And they mail it first class to 250 homes in Maryland, right? And they pulled 10 listings with an average commission of 17,000. So he was, kind enough to say that is our highest ROI. It cost him $625 to mail it, but he's got 10 homes for sale from one mailing. This guy here, like he is in Pearson Smith Realty. I set up the national partnerships with our company, and I set up offices like yours for our company. And I do training calls like this for offices like yours. And you can imagine that I don't talk to every agent in every office. That office, when we signed them 6 years ago, had 300 agents. They now have 600 agents. This guy was a rookie who had been a realtor for 2 years and then comes in and says, hey, this is our highest ROI. But later on, you'll see another call with him where we were actually recorded. I think, I can't remember if this is ours. No, that's his video. Where he said, hey, I went from 5 to 20 million in annual production in 2 years, and 80% of my business is coming from your tools, right? So just like you in your office who are just learning about this, Dustin Fox was like a rookie in an office of 300 agents. He is now a star, a leader in an office of 600 agents. And the tools that I've shown you today are the exact tools that he is using right now. That's kind of my story, guys. Our platform is pretty awesome. If you don't use the tools, it kind of does nothing for you. I would at least turn on the automation. That'll give you some colorful things on social media. That's cool. But if you want to grow your business, we're pretty confident that we capture leads. You got Follow Up Boss. Get serious about converting leads. I was just in a Remax conference a couple months ago, and this guy came up and said, I convert 5% of your leads. Like, that was awesome. He's like, I generate hundreds of leads every month with you, and I'm converting 5%. I would love to hear that from all of our clients. Right? Sounds like if you guys know how to, if you've got Follow Up Boss, in my mind, you're ahead of game. That's a top CRM. Our clients who use Follow Up Boss love the interaction between our two platforms. So good luck with all that. Any questions?
Hey, guys, any questions?
On average ad, so you're probably spending like $35.
Sorry, what was that question?
On an average ad, you're probably spending like $35.
Yeah, when you're running an ad, let's go over here to the ad section. If it's for buyer leads, we default $35. Okay. Now I mentioned it earlier. buyer leads can cost like $1.60 each, right? So if you spend $35, you could probably expect around 20 leads. But if you're running an ad for listing leads, and that would be something that's in contract or pending or sold, those leads cost about $5.60. And when you click create an ad, you'll see that the dollar point is right here, right? So when it's sold, later stage, seller leads cost more on Facebook. So we're putting a bigger budget. You could shrink the budget or you could increase the budget, right? Whether it's your choice, but that's just our default where we go.
Okay.
Yeah. And as a reminder, when you're running sold ads, if you do a sold ad, like a sold listing or under contract, you know, those leads are the cheapest. Like we've seen them $3, $5, $6 each. When you're running a PDF guide ad for homeowners, those leads can easily cost $10 or $12. When you're running a landing page for what is your home worth in Smyrna kind of thing, those leads are the most expensive for sellers, right? Those are like $15 each. So the same $50 goes a lot further when you're selling something that's just sold or just under contract. You just need to take advantage. You need to change that language to get people to click. Sometimes our boilerplate language doesn't work. There's also one more thing that I forgot to mention. I don't know your local MLS rules or your office rules, so you may want to confirm this. But there are a lot of agents who help a buyer buy a home. So they know that the home is sold. And so they pull in the listing here, they just create it manually and say, yeah, this home is sold, right? And they run ads on it, they get low cost, seller leads from Facebook, and they use the nearby homeowner letter. It looks just like theirs, right? Again, find out what's going on in your market and, can you do that? But a lot of people do that when they're helping the buyer do the home, right? Because if you can get this letter out in a neighborhood that says that you sold a home or that this home sold and you get your free home value, those are the highest quality listing leads out there, right? Looks like that. Any other questions? Well, everybody, this is being recorded. I'm going to get it up on YouTube. I'm going to send it over to Chuck. Thanks for having me. Thanks for joining us. Oh, one last thing I forgot to mention. Our support team is awesome. They're down here at the bottom left. You can put your questions here. The whole team watches that, or you can call over here, this number here. All I hear is great things about it. So if you need any help, definitely go there first. Ask them to get you in the mastermind group. And Chuck, if you get in the mastermind group, you can invite your other agents there in your group, and we'll approve them as well.
Yeah, they have the link now. I did that during the call. I think we're gonna just have to get in there and get our hands dirty, right? And just start using it.
I would.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Vince, I'm a licensed agent, but I won't be doing this for me. I'll be doing it more as an admin for others.
Sure.
So how does that work differently for me?
Well, you will have, you'll probably, Chuck has the login codes for your umbrella account.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so you'll actually be able to help them do a lot of things.
Okay.
Let's see, I'm logged in as an agent. Let me see if I can go here. Give me 1 second.
Take your time.
So I'm logged in as your office now. And so
Okay.
you can log in here and you'll be able to go over here to agents.
Yeah.
And if you click on their listings here, you could actually run the ad. So let's say that Caitlin had logged in and connected her Facebook account.
Okay.
You could then go market listing, and you see how it says connect ad account. If she
Yeah.
had connected her account, you could click a button and run the ad for her,
Okay.
right? And it would go to her business page. It would charge her credit card. But you could also say, you know what, I'm going to get this letter and I'm going to send it to myself, and I'm going to send it to the seller and call her client, right? There are all kinds of things you can do. You could get this letter and download it and email it to her and say, hey, You might want to get this out if you want more listing. You have access to all of the tools for her listings.
Okay.
And you'll also see all the leads captured by all the agents will be here on this page. Each agent, when they log in, they'll only see their own leads, their own listings, their own tools.
Mhm.
But when you log in as the office, you will see all of the things. Okay. And also, I'm going to send you a quick video. It's not perfect, but it shows you how to connect all your stuff in 5 minutes. You should do that for the office because you have your own social media as at the office level. So you could connect your social media for the office and all the listings from all the agents would automatically go there and they'd all have lead capture. And then if each agent wanted to log in and connect their own, then their listings would go to their social media and their listings would also go to your office social media.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of what you can do, Mary Beth.
Great, thank you.
Anything else? Okay, then, like I said, I will get this recording up online and I'll get it over to Chuck and I'll send that with a 5-minute how to set up your account. Okay.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining me today.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Vincent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. Take the time to learn it. It can really help your business. Talk to you soon.
Appreciate it.